Hello everyone, my name is Kira and today we will be talking about the version Luna 2 banners or 6.2 banners, their kits, pull value and vertical investment. The banners are as follows: Durin, Varesa, Venti and Xilonen in no known order. I will be assuming Durin and Varesa on the first half because it makes more sense, more on that later. And the second half being the two supports. So without too much yapping, let's hop right in. Starting with the new character, Durin, a Pyro Sword sub DPS. I already explained his kit in my last video, but all you need to know is that he has two modes. One where he buffs pyro related reactions other than vape and melt, and the other where he buffs his own vape and melt damage. In both cases, he is an off-field damage dealer, and his main purpose is to buff up characters who react with pyro. The best examples of this being Kinich and Varesa. Varesa is arguably his best teammate, so it's no wonder she is rerunning right now. Mind you that the difference between Durin and Mavwika isn't too big, but the reason you'd wanna pull Durin regardless is probably the fact that he's part of the new Hexen Circle group, which will probably be relevant later. On top of that, he does free up Mavwika to be a DPS without too much damage loss on the other side, because there isn't really an alternative to Mavwika as of now. So if you're a Kinich, Veresa, maybe even a Rizli or Molani main, he could be worth it for you. The only problem with Durin in my eyes is that he's just not that exceptional. His teams do good damage and he is fairly solid, but he is never going to be a must pull. I would say his pull value is around medium, good, but he is not insane. Moving on to Varesa, an Electro Catalyst DPS who focuses on doing a lot of plunge damage and being very cute. Funny thing, despite not being the most recent Electro DPS, she's still quite good. She's a good side grade to Flynn's who came out recently. My only problem with her is that now, we're getting some lunar reaction pushing, meaning she might be worse than Flynn's for some time as of right now. That said, as with literally any other DPS in the game, she's only ever worth pulling if you like her. You're not missing out on much otherwise. Not much to say really, that's just the state of most DPS in this meta. She might be able to work in some lunar charge comps, but don't take my word for it. I have not seen any calculations on it. Moving on to the most interesting case here, Venti, an Animobo support who focuses on grouping enemies and shredding resistances. Now, Venti is infamous for not being that good, especially with how many other Animo options exist right now. Kazuha, Lanyan, even Shanyur, even Mizuki are just better than him in most teams. Even if you like him, he just does not have that many use cases because of how the Abyss is recently, with it mostly being bosses or heavy enemies, meaning he can't group, which makes him lose his only unique thing. Overall, his pull value is very low. I really don't want to waste your time on it. He just has nothing unique to his kit. His grouping is useless in most endgame, and a lot of other supports also shred resistances and do more to serve the team. But speaking of shredding resistances, the last character in this video is Xilonen, a Geo Sword support who focuses on doing a lot of buffs and a lot of healing. And her case is a bit less black and white than before. She does shred resistances, give damage bonuses through the Natlan set, and also heals on top of that. But as a general support, she doesn't fit into one team comp anymore, which is the direction Hoyo goes with a lot of support nowadays. Even the Mavwika DPS team isn't her main team anymore because she's very replaceable in it. And that's her main issue, being replaceable. There are very few teams where Xilonen is truly good and irreplaceable. Generally speaking, she's a good general last slot, but that does mean that at any moment she could be replaced, which already happened for several of her best teams. So, kind of like Furina in the last pull video, I would not say she is universally good anymore. Her pull value is still high, don't get me wrong, but before pulling her, I heavily recommend seeing if she fits into your main two teams or not, or if she can be replaced. Otherwise, you might be benching her despite her traditionally being very good. Can't make a video like this without vertical investment, so let's go briefly over it. Durin's signature is good, but it's not amazing, kind of like the character, ironically. Currently, it's not that good in my eyes because it's only really meaningful when you have a second Hexen Circle character on the team, which there's not many good options right now. And even in that case, it's only 19 to 25% better than F2P options, which is a little too low for a recent signature in today's meta. So fairly average, but nothing exceptional. His C1 is slightly better, but the effect depends on the mode you're in. If you're in light mode, which buffs the team, he gives a stack similar to Shenhe's quills to the active character. If you're in dark mode, which is the one that he buffs his own melt damage, he gets the quills. Overall, it's around the same damage as the signature without being as limited. On top of that, his C2 is kinda insane, and it adds a team-wide 50% damage bonus to anyone involved in the pyro reactions. Imagine adding a Furina burst level buff to an already good character damage-wise. And yeah, you get the point. It's his best option and totally worth it if you have the wishes. Just remember to not force yourself to get it. It is amazing, but he can function without it. Varesa is more straightforward. Her C1 adds a bit more damage to her charge attack, around 10% more, according to calculations. It's not the best first constellation compared to a new DPS. Her signature is better damage-wise and is a much better pull. Her C2 gives her more energy and allows for more ults. A fairly stronger constellation at 25% damage increase. Mind you that it isn't the best, still, because of her C1 holding it back. Compared to other recent DPS who generally have better C1s, but it is okay, and it's still worth going for if her C2 is possible. If not, then get the signature first and then slowly build up to the C2. Venti is easier to judge. His two constellations are pretty awful. They don't add anything to his kit or fix any of his problems. Elegy is a decent generalist bow, but on him it isn't that effective in my eyes. Overall, I'd only kinda recommend going for Elegy for someone like Yulan, and not for him. Xilonen is also straightforward like Varesa. Her signature adds some damage bonuses and increases her own scaling, which does help the team decently. Compared to her C1, which doesn't add any damage, only some quality of life through interruption resistance. Her C2, however, is kind of cracked depending on the team. It gives a variety of effects depending on who's in the party, and most of them are quite good besides Electro. Overall, her investment is very good, especially since she's a support too, making them last a lot longer than, say, a DPS's vertical investment. I'd recommend them if they benefit the teams you run her with. Again, check for the team and see if it benefits. With all of that out of the way, what's the best choice to pull? In my opinion, Xilonen, any day of the week. She's the best character here by a decent margin. She's the most flexible too, and has good vertical investment for those who are into that. Durin follows closely behind in second place, with Varesa being third because she's a good DPS, and Venti being fourth because he is Venti. With all of that, yeah, what have you decided? Will you be pulling for anyone, or is the patch a skip? Let me know down below. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. I'm a small content creator and appreciate any support. Have a good day or night wherever you are, and bye.